We're pretty excited about this webinar series. We have special speakers that are absolute experts in their areas that they're going to be presenting, including Melony this morning, who is born and raised in Johnston County. It doesn't really get better than that. And she's going to be speaking about Johnston County. Welcome, everybody. My name is Amy Bonus. I am your host today and moderator, and Melony is our guest speaker and is going to be answering a bunch of questions for us. We're really, really excited to have her. We're going to be going over why Johnston County, Smithfield, Garner, Clayton, and Benson, right, Mel?
Yes.
Are good opportunities and sort of what's going on in the market there. We're going to talk a little bit about a little bit of history in this area. We're going to show you a map of the area, and we're going to also talk about a few different listings in the area too, as well. And Madison, you got those listings from Melody, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. Very good. Okay, so we're going to get started here. I first of all want to mention to you guys that if you take a look at this, and I also want to mention my team for being on. Sorry, my right-hand person, Christopher Hutchinson, is on the call today, along with my office manager, Madison. And I want to introduce you guys to them. If you've never met them before, you can take a look and see what they'll look like. But this chart here is a really important chart. It shows you all the different recessionary points that have happened in history, right? In the last 60, 70 years, 80 years. And if you look, these black columns represent when a recession occurred, okay? And this little blue line here shows what happens to housing prices during a recession. And you can see that housing prices pretty much remain stable or actually trend up during a recession, with the exception of right here in 2008. And I want to address, and you can see, and most recently, housing prices are going up a lot. Why did the market turn down in 2008? And here's why. In 2007, 2008, there was over 4 million homes on the market. Right now, there's only a quarter of that. So there's very few opportunities for the housing market to crash or be in a big bubble, because there's simply not enough demand, or not enough supply to meet the demand. And so it's a really, really different market right now than during that time. So we really feel like home prices are going to remain pretty stable. There has been some softening in some areas. Melody's going to address that today. The real story is, though, that these million homes that are on the market, almost 40–50% of them are currently under contract. So that leaves very few across the whole country available for people to purchase. It's like, that's pretty interesting. Just a little bit about Melony, our guest speaker today. First of all, Melony, I want to thank you very much for taking your time to prepare for this webinar. You've done a lot of work and a lot of research to give us accurate stats. You guys, Melony, like I mentioned, she's from Johnston County. She loves the outdoors, kayaking, horseback riding, camping. She loves to be there for her family and for her clients. She loves and believes in being kind to people and tries to spread as much, unconditional kindness throughout the world. She's a great person to work with. We love working with her on our team. And again, Melony, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So the areas that we're going to be talking about today are Clayton, Smithfield, or I should say Melony will be talking about today, are Clayton, Smithfield, Benson, Garner, and Johnston County in general. And Mel, what are like the closest, like what is counties are closest to Johnston County that people associate Johnston County with?
Well, you have pretty much the triangle, which is mostly like Wake, Johnston. It does go into Durham, but I mean, Wake, Harnett, and Johnston are kind of the areas that I kind of specify or specialize in. And there's a lot of growth going on in that area because it's closer to RTP and it's not as congested. People can get a little bit more bang for their buck out in Johnston County. But we'll talk about that later, but some roads that are coming in are going to make it a lot more accessible for people. So it's just a great place in growth right now.
All right, I just changed your name from Madison to Melody. Okay, my PowerPoint disappeared. What do you guys see on the screen right now?
Join the session.
A cell phone with a QR code.
Yeah, I have no idea where the PowerPoint went. So let's try to put it back on here. And then I want to just show you, let's see. I want to show you guys a little bit closer, like closer up version of Johnston County, where you can see all these different areas, right? You have Kenley, Archer Lodge, Clayton. And Melony, I'm going to let you sort of take control of this area like we did before.
Okay.
And see if you can use your mouse to show. Okay, see if you can take over.
It's not giving me, haha. Can you see my mouse?
I cannot see your mouse.
No. Well, let's see. This
Okay,
worked
try
the other
again.
day. Let's see, mouse.
Okay, you should be
There
you
we
should
go.
be controlling
Can you
the
see it
screen
now?
now.
Oh, God, what happened now?
Okay.
There you go.
Eraser.
So
There we
that area that you just circled right there up where
Right.
it says Wake County, what is that?
So this is a very busy area between kind of Clayton over here towards where 40 is going to merge with 540, which we'll show you that one in a second. But right here where Johnston Health is, all the way over to Clayton, this whole area right here has grown substantially over the last few years because it is more accessible to RTP. And we do have a lot of big businesses that are coming out to Johnston County because again, they can get a little more bang for their buck too. Won't last forever because the more people move out here, the more expensive it becomes. So the earlier you can get in here, the better. But right in here, it's just, we've seen some astronomical growth, especially in Clayton. Clayton is probably going to be the one spot in Johnston County that will continuously go up in price because they are constantly adding things there. But the rest of Johnston County, for the most part, it's not dropping in price. It's just kind of leveling off. So you're not in multiple offer situations and you have 50 people putting in $50,000 over asking price anymore. We're not there anymore. We're stable across the board in Johnston County, except for Clayton. Clayton is still pretty busy. And that has a lot to do with some stuff that's coming into the area. So, which we will talk about.
So you guys, if you study the history of Johnston County, it was actually established hundreds of years ago, and it was named after a royal governor, and it was a railroad town and then a cotton town, and then it became a lot more urban. Smithfield is sort of a big deal that also, besides Clayton, Melony's going to speak about today. So you have a long time that it's been around. And then you also, in the 1880s, you guys have probably heard of Vicks Vapor Rub. Johnston County, the pharmacist, Lunsford Richardson, is the person that developed and invented Vicks Vapor Rub. And he's actually from Johnston County. Families today are moving to Johnston County because they actually want more than, they want to be more than 10 feet away from their neighbor. And they're able to get a little bit more land than they are in the Wake County area. And Mel, I'll let you take this away. I know you know all about these special events.
Well, these are two of the most popular festivals that we have in Johnston County. There's Mule Days, which they've both been around about the same. They were in the mid 1900s, both came about. the Benson Mule Days in Benson, where they pretty much shut off the whole town, and they have parades, and you can camp out there, and it's a big to do. And the Clayton Harvest Festival is very similar to that. Maybe not quite as big, but still pretty big. They have competitions and games and all sorts of fun things for people to do for 4 days. So I mean, it's a good little festival. Both of
And
them.
people camp in one of these places, right? Like people
Yeah,
come in
and
and
Benson
camp.
Mule Days. They literally block off all of Main Street and a couple more blocks, and you can camp out there. They have rides, they have competitions, they have rodeos, they have all kinds of stuff. They have the parade, and people bring their horses. They camp out there with their horses, and they ride their horses in the parade, and people have a lot of fun out there.
That
It's
sounds
very
like
popular.
fun.
I mean, I've seen people from other countries come to visit this, which I didn't realize other people knew about it, but it's very popular.
And then I'll let you talk about, there's obviously some huge developments and big companies that have been moving to Johnson County and are expanding Johnson County, including like Caterpillar, and everybody heard about Amazon outside of like the Garner and Smithfield area. But I'll let you talk about the other ones.
Yeah, we do have a lot of pharmaceutical companies and healthcare just kind of coming out to our area if they were not already here. Like Caterpillar's been here, but they're expanding, and a few others like Bear, they've been here for a while, but they're expanding, and a lot more large companies are coming in. And I wouldn't say all of them have something to do with healthcare, but a good portion of them do. And I mean, that does bring in a lot more money into the area. These are not low paying jobs. These are pretty good paying jobs that they're bringing into the area. So there's just an enormous amount, and UNC has affiliated with Johnston Health. And they are building a complex up at 4042, where 70 and 42, well, the 70 bypass and 42 intersect. That is turning into a pretty big medical park that they're continuing to expand on. So that is bringing a lot of jobs into the area. And
following jobs, like everybody knows that real estate appreciation follows job growth.
Yes,
so
they do.
Yeah, that's just, they just go hand in hand. And, pretty interesting to the stats that show in Johnston County, which this is the median sales price, about $369,000. It's down a little bit year over year. The number of homes are also down, but that is due to inventory, which we'll show you in a second. What does that mean, Mel? Is that possibly a opportunity for people to buy with the prices sort of mellowed out a little bit?
I would expect that they will, again, in some places just stay steady in Johnston County, like out in Benson and a little bit further from Raleigh. But the parts of Johnston County, because Garner is actually partially in Johnston County, and that part of Garner is growing substantially. So if you can get into that section, they're not really stagnating. They're not really going over asking price. So they're not growing like they were, but they will still continue in like the Garner area of Johnston County and Clayton. Those two areas I expect to continue to grow in price point. But then, a little bit further out, it'll probably just stay stable for a little while until they finish 540, in which case, that's going to open up even more and those prices will start going back up.
Nice. And the housing supply is what's really amazing here, is that the housing supply in May was significantly higher than the housing supply in June, which is why less homes have been sold in the last month. This is also very interesting that, you're looking at about 44% of the homes were sold a little bit under the ask price, which is pretty common for even Wake County. You have a percentage that are under the ask price. And then you have about 27% that have sold above the ask price. And then 29% were sold at the ask price. So you still have the vast majority of homes being sold at the ask price or over the ask price. And again, it's based on the location, right?
Yeah.
Right, Mel?
Yeah. That has a lot to do with it. Yeah.
As it is everything.
Yeah.
I think you already talked about, what about Flowers Plantation? I know that you mentioned that Flowers Plantation is one of like the largest developments around, right?
Yes, it is. It's a huge development. It has a lot of different sections in it, because they've been building it for years and years. So that's the current layout of it. They are expanding. So if you can see where those little ponds are over in the visitor center, where that area is, they
Where's
are
oh, okay, right over
fixing
here.
to- over there.
Okay.
That is where they're going to be building some waterfront shops and apartments, kind of like North Hills Mall, if anybody's familiar with North Hills Mall, or any of those mall areas where you have living quarters above all of your shopping, which is new to Johnston County. We don't really have a lot of stuff like that in Johnston County until now. But it is in Flowers Plantation, which has always been a very popular kind of higher end neighborhood in Johnston County. So yeah, that I'm pretty excited to see how quickly they can get that put up.
Yeah, that's a really big development. So I know you have 2 or 3 properties that you want to talk about today. This one, the price sold looks like it was 790,000. That's like a nice, big, nice house, right? 36.
Right, that one is
37.
currently still on the market.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
tried to get some that were already or that were still on the market. Yeah, just because they do go pretty fast in Flowers Plantation.
Okay, so this one's on the market for 790. It looks like a little mansion to me. I mean, it's 3,700 square feet with 10 rooms. It's not very old. It's about only, a decade old. Do you want to say anything about it, or I know?
Well, this is the sections of your of Flowers Plantation, just to kind of show the variety of what you can get in Flowers Plantation, because this
Okay,
is your
got it.
higher end. Now, there are some that are more expensive than this, but this is kind of your average in the higher square footage range in the 3,000s. So this is about your average price that you will see in Flowers Plantation for this size. And then some of the others that we'll look at, or one other that we'll look at, is kind of your average, what your average buyer will be purchasing.
Okay.
It's like a 3-bed, 2-bath, but they do have both, and they are technically in the same neighborhood, but different sections of the neighborhood.
I've been to a few homes here on open houses, and the homes I've been in have just been absolutely breathtaking. Like, they've been exceptional homes. Okay,
Yes,
here's
they
your
definitely
second
keep
one.
up. So this one is still, it is not necessarily in Flowers Plantation. It is right outside of Flowers Plantation.
Okay.
Literally like one road over from where Flowers Plantation stops. But it shows you that you can get a little bit more if you're just not in Flowers Plantation. Because this is actually kind of on the lower end, because this one has been on the market for a little bit. So this one is still available. Let's see, now it's been on the market for a little longer, because I got these Wednesday.
But
this
that's a
is your
nice
average,
house for
what
over
your
2,000
average
square
buyer
feet.
is going to purchase. And I mean, this would be maybe a good investment property, because it's not really, does not have the strict HOAs. Flowers Plantation does have fairly strict HOAs, but they do have rental potential in there.
Okay.
Just not as much. I'm pretty sure there's a cap, but each one of these sections has their own HOA guidelines. So you really do have to look specifically at this section of Flowers Plantation.
Okay, good to know. Okay, and then here's the third listing.
This is the one that I thought was a really good find, because it is almost right next to where they're going to be building all of those shops and the apartments and all of that. So this one, while it is only 370 right now, once they get all of that shopping and stuff built, this one will probably skyrocket, because it's very close to it. It'll be within walking distance to all these shops.
Yeah, I think that's going to be like most people, like a lot of agents don't even know about that development happening. So,
Yeah.
and then you have, looks like we have one other listing. No, we
That
don't
one
have
was just my listing, that I just put on Friday.
This one?
So I was, yes.
Okay, good. This is 480. So this is sort of in the middle, right?
Right, right. And this is actually a very sought after neighborhood because it is brick. And I didn't realize how many people actually still want brick homes, because I personally don't really love brick, but it's a very popular neighborhood because all of them are brick. And it's a quiet neighborhood. It's established. It's not noisy there. I mean, they do have a clubhouse and pool and some amenities and things like that, but it's really out of the hustle and bustle, but not far from it. But it's
And
kind
this
of on
is
the other side of
the first floor master.
Johnston County. What was that?
This is a first floor master, right?
Yes, this actually has a first floor master and technically has 5 bedrooms, but there is only a septic for 4 bedrooms, so we have to advertise it as such. The other 5th bedroom is just considered an office or a flex space.
Okay, that's nice. That's really nice. So, I mean, this is really big square footage. It's like 2,800 square feet.
Actually, I took that from the tax record. It's being professionally measured today, because I'm pretty sure it's more like 29, almost 3,000 square feet, but the tax records, I don't think were correct.
Huh,
But until
that's
I get those back, I can't say that that's how much they are.
right, absolutely not. All right, now, if you guys have any questions, please put them in chat. Chris, let me know if we need to ask, like, does anybody have any questions for Melony up to this point?
Absolutely. Rachel asked, why don't you prefer brick?
It's not all brick, it's red brick. That's just me personally as an aesthetic thing. I just don't like red brick. I like the multicolored brick, the whitewash brick. I like most other bricks. I don't know. It's just a personal preference thing.
Anything else in the chat?
That's it for now.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you, everybody. We love participation. Now, here's this awesome development that really nobody knows about. Like, it's huge what's happening, and it's going to bring, a lot of like culture and sort of fanciness, like upper endness, right, Mel?
Yes, yes. That is definitely something new to Johnston County.
So we're pretty excited about this. And one of the listings that you showed, I think it was the 369 listing, is right by here, right?
Yes, it is only like, I think 3 blocks from where this is going to be. So, and they're small blocks. They're not like country blocks. They're city blocks.
So you could
So
walk to the new development when.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it is waterfront. I was kind of wondering where that waterfront was at first, because I don't really know of any big lakes, but then I saw it, it's right past the river on 42, and 42. Again, that whole area has been growing substantially. They put up a lot of new construction and a lot of new restaurants and stuff, not just this particular shopping mall that they're putting in, but they put in a lot of other restaurants and shops and grocery stores, like a Publix grocery stores, which we did not used to have in Johnston County. But they're just building up a lot of stuff out there. I honestly could not even begin to describe how many different things they are putting out there.
Yeah, really good possibility for growth and for people getting appreciation on their homes.
Yes, very much.
So we have the pros of sustainable and steady growth, like continuing to happen. There's shopping, dining. This development that you just spoke about is going to be a really big deal. Of course, with development comes traffic, comes more people. That's with any place in America, right? So, yeah, you want more development, but then when you're living in it, you're like, stop, but your houses go up in value. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it's a conundrum. So what do you think gets your offer accepted? I know we talked about you mentioning that borrowers should be pre-approved rather than pre-qualified, but And I guess you could explain sort of what that means and then go into these other things.
Right. So pre-qualification, most people, especially over the last couple of years, would not even take a pre-qualification because a pre-qualification has not been verified. That's just, we're guessing how much you're approved for based on what you told us, but we haven't verified any facts. And a pre-approval, they've actually run your credit. They've checked your finances, so they know that you can afford this house. So it's not a guessing game, which is good for your seller, but it's also good for your buyer because you don't want them giving up, down payment or not down payment, due diligence fees that are non-refundable if they're not even going to be approved for the loan. So that is not a great way to start your home search when you jump into something without that pre-approval. That makes a huge difference because due diligence, you want a strong due diligence that always helps get your offer accepted. The stronger your due diligence. Now we don't have to spend as much these days as we did the last few years. But still probably about 1% of the purchase price. And that can get fairly hefty, especially when you could walk away, and you don't want to walk away from thousands of dollars that, you really want to make sure that you have everything together and that you can afford this house. And of course, the strong offer is always going to be one as close to asking price as possible, but we do kind of take into consideration how many days they've been on market and, what the ones around them are going for, if it's really a fair price or not. But there's a lot of different factors that go into actually putting in a fair price. And I mean, most agents are pretty good at deciding or helping their sellers decide how much to put a home on the market for. But things, again, are stabling out now, so it's a little easier to track that. But I still have gotten to a point where it's only like the last 3 months of comps that I use.
Right.
Just because that's the most accurate pricing.
And so you suggest people get pre-approved, that they have strong due diligence. In other words, they're not offering the seller $100, but they're offering them usually 1% of the ask price or more, based if there's multiple offers, and that they put a strong offer in based on what their buyer's agent, who works exclusively for them, who they don't pay. So you might as well have a great buyer's agent, does comps and comes up with a particular value as to what to make the offer at, right? Based on what the comps support.
Right.
Okay.
And those comps can change like the weather. So
yeah, they can. They certainly can. Just everybody, I want you to know that when there is a little softening in the market and prices are not like shooting up, and just so you guys know, in this area, prices have already gone up 10.3% this year. But if they're sort of staying stable in parts of Johnson County now, that is when people make money. They don't make as much money when prices are shooting up through the roof. It's like they can't catch it. And so now with that big COVID explosion like settling down a little bit, this is where you can really make money. And the issue that people, I guess, don't really understand is that when interest rates drop down just a little bit and the public begins to hear that interest rates are down, there is so much pent up demand that people are going to come out of the woodwork with a 0.5% cut or a 1% cut in interest rates. And what they're going to do is they're going to cause bidding wars. And so you can actually get a better deal on a property now versus if you wait to buy a property, wait until interest rates go down. You're not really marrying the interest rate. In fact, your mortgage is not permanent, right? The chances of you refinancing are 99% chance that you're going to refinance. And as a repeat client, we're going to refinance you as long as you keep your good credit. You can't have any mortgage lates, but we literally are able to do no closing costs refinances on primary residences. And we do that all the time for repeat clients. You are just dating the interest rate. you're marrying the price of the house, but you're dating the interest rate. That's how you have to look at it. Now, some of you on this call are first-time buyers. I want to mention to you that in the 30 years I've been a lender, there's been only one other time that I've seen this program come out, and it was only available in 5 counties in North Carolina. And this program is available in all 100 counties right now, where you can get $15,000 to buy a house, pay for a portion of your closing cost, your first month's mortgage payment. Really reduces your cash to close a lot. So if you are thinking about buying an investment property and you guys have questions at all, please feel free to reach out to Melanie or myself. We would love to help you. And we want to open up the chat for any questions right now before we close for today. Mel, do you have anything else that you want to add?
I think, did we miss the slide on 540 where 540 was coming in? Or did we take that one out?
I don't know why we would take it out, but I don't
remember seeing that one.
I don't remember seeing it either. Maybe it's down at the bottom. Yep, it is. Actually, I see where it is. Let me move forward on it. I see it. It's sort of like hidden. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, please explain this.
Okay, so can everybody see 5? Can everybody see that? Yes. Okay. So down at basically where it comes almost to a V, and do I have
Sure, take it.
let's see, can you see my mouse? No.
Try now.
Okay. All right, can everybody see my mouse over here at 40, where 40 and 70 in this little area, because this is where Clayton is. So 540 is coming through, and up here at the top is where you know, the RTP and airport and all of that is. But this road is coming all the way down this way, and it's basically doing a larger circle than 440. And 440 has been real congested, which they've made that larger, so it's not as congested. But 540 is going to open up a lot more opportunities, even towards the left side of Johnston County and almost into Harnett County, to be quite honest, just because it has expanded that. Now, I know that they do have a toll. I don't know if they plan on putting more tolls. They only have the one on there now. But that is 540, 40, and 70 bypass are all merging pretty much right here. And that area is actually where my office is. And that has grown up so much.
That's
the
huge.
DOT is having a hard time keeping up with it.
I mean,
but they are doing a
huge.
good job. But that, I just wanted to mention that because that does open up RTP, not just all the stuff that's coming into Johnston County, but it also opens up a lot of other opportunities to where the traffic is not so bad and the values of those homes are going up as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. That's a big deal. Thank you.
Welcome.
Chris, do you have anything in the chat, or anybody have any questions? If you do, please, you can unmute yourself and we'd be happy to have you guys ask.
Rachel does have a question.
Awesome. Yay.
Since we are dating the interest rate, how many times can we refinance on the same house?
You'll probably end up refinancing 2 or 3 times. We have a lot of clients do it 2 times. You have to keep the mortgage for basically 8 to 10 months before you refinance. And the no closing cost refis are very common on primary residences. If you're buying investment property, we pay a portion of the cost because the costs on investment properties are a little bit higher than the primary residences. But on a primary residence, we pay everything. Your attorney's fees, your lender fees, your appraisal, you pay it out of pocket, we reimburse it at closing. So it's a really good opportunity for our clients. In fact, it's a reason why some people end up going with us versus other lenders. Any other questions?
I think that's it right now.
Are you sure, you guys? Because this is really exciting, Johnston County. It's, 15, 20 minutes off the border. We have a lot of people moving there. We have a lot of remote employees. Usually one person in the family is commuting, the other person can sometimes work from home. So it's really a good opportunity for growth if you haven't thought about it before. And it's a lot more affordable than some areas in Wake County. Melony, thank you. Let's give Melony a hand. Really
Thank
appreciate
you for having me.
And I want to let you guys know if you have any questions on pre-approval or any questions for Melony, please reach out to us. And we look forward to working with you in your journey. Real estate is a great way to build financial freedom, and we're here to help you. Hope you guys have a great day.
Oh, Amy.
Melony, thank you. Oh, Theron, do you have a question?
Yes, Amy, I just want to thank you. You helped me buy my first home 16 years ago. Not sure if you remember me, but your team was excellent. And it's been a great journey, and it was excellent. It was really, you made things very easy.
Well, that is really nice of you. Thank you for speaking up. I really appreciate you doing that.
I agree. You also helped me buy my first home too, Amy, in Creedmoor.
I know, Rachel. You had a good situation there. It's nice to see you guys on the call.
Yes.
Theron, thank you, Rachel. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Yes, I appreciate these webinars that you offer, because actually I bought my first home due to the fact you had a course that was going, and I learned how to buy, how all the things that involved in home buying. That's how I met you. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I hope you guys join us for more of these webinars. We have a whole list online running through October 9th. We're going to have one every single week on Mondays at 12 o'clock to go over different areas in North Carolina. And then later in August, we're going to have one about first-time buyer programs. And in September, we're actually going to have one on people that are unfortunately getting a divorce. It's become more common. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Melony, great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye, Theron. Bye, Rachel.
All right.